Has anyone got any questions? And we're more than happy.
I just have one from Merv. I know you said to, get a professional help and get a personal trainer to do the strengthening and see how it works with your schedule, but do you have a recommended ratio of how much you should be doing the strengthening versus your other training? Or?
Yeah.
Did everyone hear the question okay?
Sorry.
Yeah. So that's a really, really good question. Look, I'd probably look for a strength and conditioning coach over a personal trainer firstly, and I think it's not just a difference in title, it's just a different discipline. And I'd look for someone who understands your sport. I'll just say that as well, rather than someone who's going to have you doing burpees and punching a punching bag and all that kind of stuff. If you're going to do that kind of stuff, get on your bike and ride. The answer to that is unfortunately based on your training history, highly variable, because you could look at someone's training history and go, look, one of the big holes in your armour is actually you haven't ridden enough. And so what we don't want to do is dial back your riding load in order to fill in something else. So it's a real balance. As a general rule, all of those studies that I've quoted there have more than one gym session in that week. I struggle to think of any that do more than 5. I wouldn't recommend anyone to do 5. There's probably not enough hours in the day, and it comes down to regulating the recovery of your session. So the amount of gym work you would do would depend on what phase you're at. So please, no one in the room introduce 5 new training sessions a week in the next 6 weeks. That is not going to lead to a PB, and probably not lead you to the starting line, let alone the finish line. So it's to answer your question, it's highly variable. Look, I'd be looking at probably, if you're going to dip your toe in with 2, I wouldn't do it solo. Unless you have extensive experience as an athlete, having been coached to lift, what you're doing is you're introducing another variable. And I kind of like to deal with athletes with as many certainties as you can get, and introducing unknowns like that, like the fatigue of and new exercises, the central nervous system fatigue, the local metabolic fatigue in the muscles is a bit of a problem if you don't know what you're doing. So I will say strength training is a brilliant thing for triathletes to be doing. Don't do it solo. Yeah. But if you're going to give it a whirl, do at least 2.
What do you think the chances are in 6 weeks of using strength training to try and get past ITV, meet and
I'd start today. Yeah. It would depend on the history and how long it's been going on for, how severe, how far into your runs it occurs. So it would be individual factors. But could you dent an ITV issue in 6 weeks? Yeah. Its ability to reverse that fully in that time would be dependent on the individual, and the are you very accustomed to running 21.1 off the bike, or like the girl I met today who as yet the longest run she's done is 9Ks, and that's going to necessitate a ramp up, which is kind of hard to marry ramping up that much with getting an injury right. So it is highly individual, but you could really dent one in 6 weeks. Yeah.